my work is like working on collaboration tools and building processes, more on the project management side. Yeah, worked on a bit of on the schedule I see Swarm Treasury, which is basically recognizing on-chain the value people are like doing.
The reporting that we do specific to KF Media and other regen communities is impact reporting. So how do we inspect our data and make sure our data is good enough that it can be used as a standard for more commonalities?
I think before that, I started working on sunsetting ORDAO office hours deployment. So ORDAO office hours is a very series of events where I introduced ORDAO software, which we use here today, for example, and we used ORDAO deployment for testing in those events.
Design prototype for a gamified user interface for a Fractal app. So for the past 5 months or so, I've been doing a research mission that's been funded by the Optimism Collective for research into democratic fund distribution using the Respect game. Yeah, there's a section about the philosophy of gamification and why it's important to gamify governance, and then learning from successful games like sports and esports and digital games. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Eden Fractal. We're here at Eden Fractal 123, our 123rd event, and I'm pleased to be here with Rosemary, Will, Tadas, Eric, Tevo, and Flavia. Flavia joining for the first time. Welcome. Tevo joining again. So hope everybody's doing well. For everybody out there who's watching, thanks for joining. I hope you'll enjoy the episode, and for everyone here, I hope you'll enjoy the event. We're going to play the Respect game, and I'm going to give a presentation about Eden Fractal. Will is having fun already. So yeah, if anybody else wants to have some fun or say hello or share anything real quick, then feel free, and I'll share a presentation to kick us off.
Roll that beautiful Eden Fractal footage.
All right, we're rolling. All right, so in addition to rolling, we're also rising with respect here. So we're here at our usual time, Thursdays at 17 UTC, to play the historic Respect game and continue our Epoch 2 revival on base. And this is where we experience collaborative governance innovation and shape the future of fractal decision-making process throughout society. You can check out more about our event in the thread from Optimistics. Encourage you to like and share and spread the word, and learn more about Eden Fractal at edenfractal.com. It's a community dedicated to optimizing collective decision making through collaborative research, development, education, gamification, and community engagement. And the Eden community has been gathering since 2021, pioneering ways for communities to coordinate that are fair, fast, and fun. We host bi-weekly events that bring together governance leaders and builders to explore better coordination systems, both theory and practical implementation. And everyone's welcome to join our videos, or join our events, and watch our videos and explore our blog to learn how fractal consensus processes can help your community or organization thrive. We have a clear vision here about helping all communities and organizations have the tools and methods to make the best possible decision making, and a clear mission to implement fractal decision making process throughout society to accomplish this. If you're not familiar with fractal decision making processes, it's kind of like how plants branch out in fractal patterns to maximize growth and resilience. These processes help communities and organizations coordinate effectively at any scale by breaking into smaller interactive groups. We often facilitate fractal decision-making processes with a game called the Respect game that we play at each of our bi-weekly events ever since we started Epoch 2. So everyone's welcome to join to network with talented builders and learn more about these processes and experience them, and also participate and share your work and be a part of our videos too. You can check out the videos page and see all the videos for educational resources about better decision-making, and check out the Optimistics Toolkit for an assortment of tools that have been built by community members to help communities make better decisions and play the Respect game. Learn more at edenfractal.com. I encourage you to explore it and everything like that, including the Eden Fractal videos page. We've been having some great events, including our anniversary event, a 3-year anniversary event that we had last week. Oh, I see you said, Eric, something. If you want to say something, feel free to jump in, but I think that might have been an accident. Yeah, so check out the videos to learn more about all we've been doing for the past 3 years, especially the past few weeks as we've been entering Epoch 2 and celebrating our anniversary. These are published on the Eden Creators YouTube channel. Thanks everybody for the amazing 3-year anniversary event. And I encourage you to RSVP for the event as well at lou.ma/optimistics, where you can find all our events that are hosted by the Optimistics. For anyone who's not familiar, I mentioned that we recently entered Epoch 2. We had Epoch 1 for the first 3 years. You can see our history on the blog. And also you can learn more about Epoch 2 and what it is, how we're now playing respect games on Ethereum on edenfractal.com/blog and find more in these articles. And also, like I said, that Optimistics tweet has a lot of like nice little summaries, including how Epoch 1 participants, people who played respect games in Epoch 1, can now claim their respect tokens on base and participate in Eden Fractal's governance using the new application for Eden Fractal, as well as the Optimism Fractal app that is facilitating the transfer and migration of Eden Fractal respect from EOS to base. You can learn more in that event or in that tweet. And then also after the event, we'll be having the Eden Town Hall event. After playing the respect game, we'll be having the Eden Town Hall event, and we'll probably discuss the future of Eden Town Hall and also Epoch 2 and maybe Kajenda's rules. So looking forward to that, as is Rosemarie. And we are now going to play the respect game, which I think everybody here is familiar with, although maybe welcome time, by the way. I'm not sure if Flavia is aware, but there's an overview of all the great benefits of playing the respect game here, or at least some of them. And then the article Optimistic shows how we play it. Basically, we're going to go into randomized groups of up to 6 people, and then we're each going to share our contributions to Eden Fractal and the fractal ecosystem in general, or more generally, helping communities and organizations coordinate better and make collective decision making better. And feel free to just introduce yourself in general as well. And then we're going to rank each other's contributions as a group, and then determine who helped the most, who helped the second most, who helped the third most over the past couple of weeks since the past event. And then if the groups can reach consensus, then everybody in the group will receive respect, and people receive more respect for higher levels. More details at optimistics.io/respect game. And of course, everybody feel free to share your screen, share any links and so forth. Love to help promote your work, and feel free to ask any questions. Hope that you all enjoy the respect game, and we'll meet back here by the end of the hour to embark on the Eden Town Hall, which will be for the next hour. If for anybody who'd like to stick around, I see people are laughing here too. I don't know if there's some pretty comments here. I see Tadas said it's interesting. It doesn't sound so fast for him because he gets used to it, and same with Rosemary. Okay, well, this sounds good. Thanks for getting used to it. And I suppose we'll start at the breakout rooms now. And also see time saying so fast. I feel like you talk from warp speed. Good job. Need to wrap this. Hey, we could make it a wrap. Good idea. All right. Well, coming next at EF124, wrapping Eden Fractal. But for now, we'll play the respect game. And if you want to wrap in your contributions, feel free. Good to see you, Tevo.
You said that.
I
Yes.
get that before. Well, now I can actually see you. Before I saw your logo, but now I can actually see your face. So, and I was trying to read your shirt too. I don't know if it's interesting and if I should read it, but it's like just small enough that I can't read it. So I'm curious.
Yeah, it's in Estonian either. So
Oh,
I
okay.
think I maybe not. Yeah, it's in Estonian. It's basically probably some, I don't know, just
Okay. Funny?
some kind of a love uh, catch. I don't know. It's hard to read because for me it's a mirroring
Oh, yeah.
effect,
Okay.
and then when I look down, it's like I don't want to bother.
Okay. I guess nobody will know then. It will be a mystery what it says. If we have some Estonian watchers, I guess. All right, cool. Well, yeah, hope you've been doing well. And I suppose without further ado, we can get into playing the respect game if everybody's ready. So, open floor if anybody wants to go first or um, share any questions or share your contributions. Did anyone go first? Will, Das, Tevo?
Well, I can start it. So in general, the last time I think I was in here was like 2 months or not 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago. I mean the Eden anniversary stuff. And from there, I'm not usually a Telegram user, but I did put it in my schedule to check it. And every now and then, when I kind of go through it, I notice that when I compare like networks here, it wasn't easy to understand where you go next from the town halls. So then I basically put it in the background to just rejoin to these sessions. But I wasn't able to join the Optimism one. I think it was other week, but same time. Um, so yeah, that there is an interest like that how does this network work and how do you get involved in any of other people's activities, or where do you find like, hey, this person is interested in the same areas of where I'm interested, and that unclarities, this is something I guess I will discover over the summer. Summer in general is like a slower time. Now I think all my contracts are basically over. Now I'm just like in a maintenance mode. And so my work is like working on collaboration tools and building processes, more on the project management side. So yeah, worked on a bit of on the schedule I see Swarm Treasury, which is basically recognizing on chain the value people are like doing. Where, for example, here we see people are joining up. There is a facilitation reward. But fun fact, we're also what I worked on today was planning how do we take that participation reward to the next level, because what we have right now is we can compare contribution versus participation and like distribute the facilitation rewards of the session. For example, right now your work group or like this community doesn't have rewards for being in meetings, or in general nobody gets rewarded for facilitating that. But when you scale it up and you're gonna have like treasuries, this is something that people usually find it first easy, the most easier to recognize. So yeah, like working on niche areas for the specific networks or communities that emergently need some kind of tools, and I help to establish these processes and more focused on like Cardano technology. Yeah, I wouldn't go more into that. So slowly, basically wrapping up, seeping into this, trying to understand what others are doing, and then giving snippets of my different areas of where I work on every now and then. May take few months, but I think because it has lasted quite a long time, so I'm like optimistic that I will learn more about and get my answers over time here.
All right. Sounds great. Well, thanks, Tevo. Really appreciate you joining us again and remembering and being interested in learning more, as well as sharing all your contributions and things you've been doing, facilitating communities and contributing to Cardano. And yeah, I suppose just to briefly respond to one of the things you mentioned about like, I suppose best ways to get involved after joining town halls or the respecting events. There are some things like, for example, Optimism Fractal has a Notion site, and we have lots of blog articles and stuff. But mostly, the best way to get involved, or find how you want to contribute, or find out how you want to get involved, and that suits your interests, is probably the main thing is just joining the events, and then speaking to people, asking questions, seeing what interests you. And there's lots of things like, for example, Tadas has lots of things that he's working on with ORDAO that he'd love help with, and I have lots of things I'd love help with different educational things. And there might be things that you find or that Jorge finds that would benefit the Cardano community or whatever. So basically, I would say mostly joining the events. Feel free to also reach out in our chats, and feel free to research our educational resources, and then see just feel free to ask any questions about things that you're most interested in, or things that would be most helpful for the community, and we'd be happy to share our thoughts or share any guidance and so forth. And both the respecting events and the town halls are both good events, are both good places for that too, as well as the chats. So yeah, if you wanted to respond to that, then feel free. It's a bit off. It's a bit off script, I guess, because usually we just to share respecting contributions. But I felt like it might just be helpful just to share that insight with you right there, or at least my perspective on it. And then if you want to share anything else, then feel free. But otherwise, if you want to pick somebody to go next in the respect game and share their contributions, then you can do so whenever you're ready as well.
Yeah, so I guess I ask next Will T. Only one without hammer to be next.
All right. Sorry, I was AFK for a moment, but here I am. I'm here. The only one without a camera. You're going to pick on me, huh? All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. So how's it going, everybody? It's been 2 weeks since we met last. And I know that Optimism Fractal has a different focus than Eden Fractal. So I would say a very insightful event that I did attend over the last 2 weeks that could benefit this community possibly was an event called Unpacking Common Approach, and that is hosted by commonapproach.org. I don't know if you guys are familiar with them or not, but it's basically finding standardized methodologies to have a more common approach to what we do, not just in Web3, but maybe with a nonprofit or what have you. But it also comes to it's coming to a culmination of basically the reporting that we do specific to KF Media and other regen communities is impact reporting. So how do we inspect our data and make sure our data is good enough that it can be used as a standard for more commonalities? And that was session 2 in their 3-part series. In session 1, which I attended last month, it was talking more about like defining the methodologies, and then how do you know if it's good enough? Does it need to be great, or does it just need to be good enough, right? So understand the differences between that. And then also, and they do have session 3 coming up on later on in the month. So if anybody wants to get involved or listen to that, or listen to any of the recordings, I do have those. I do have access to those presentations and recordings and the slide decks associated with them. So just let me know, and I can share those with you. Dan, I don't know, might be good for you if you're not already familiar with that, to see how it'd be applicable to this community and the other communities hosted by the Optimistics. And then also of significant note, yesterday I had a really good meeting with Harvesto Orlando, who I met in the Optimism Fractal meeting last week, and we're talking about the different governance mechanisms that are found here, how, like, from my perspective, they can not only be applied to other communities as we've seen that done here, but also like in terms of the fairness of the modeling of it, right? And I feel that this is one of the mechanisms that govern communities into decision making that is probably one of the most fair and balanced, because it's based on a peer-to-peer review of our work and of what we've learned and how we can be the the fractal component to the community to amplify our contribution. So that's about it. Any questions that I can field before I pass it on? No?
Is there a
Right.
direct use case for these, like when I went to the common framework site on the common approach site, like where are you like applying this experience? Are you learning
So we
or
do it in our
research?
impact. Yes, we do it in our impact reporting that is hosted on Karma HQ, which is also known as the Grantee Accountability Protocol. So they have a very developed protocol where we can do our impact reporting and we can do our activity reporting, and then they aggregate it into like a more formalized system, so that like if people are looking to fund us or provide us with funding, they can at a glance see what our overall impact is. And they do also do pull requests from our GitHub repo. So anytime we have a new README updated or when we start actually pushing code, then that'll be it. And I'll get some links in the chats too.
Yeah, please do share the links. Well, I was going to ask what the name of the community or event, and you said you had the recording. I didn't quite catch the name of it, but I suppose once you shared in the chat.
It's from the commonapproach.org.
Oh, okay, same one. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So the name of the event was called Unpacking Common Approach Session 2. Session 2 went a lot into the data analytics and data reporting methodologies. And then session 1 was just kind of laying the foundation for that. But the title of the actual series from the Common Approach is called Common Approach to Impact Measurements. And it's a 3-part series that I've been attending.
All right, wonderful. Thanks so much for sharing. I had seen that website like I don't know, a couple months ago. I came across it, and I'm curious to dive in deeper. I see that Tevo was also saying he had a deep discussion about it as well. So, and then karmahq.xyz is the other link that you shared there.
Yeah, the problem with communities are like we have attention. What do we do with it? And then you walk through all the possibilities, but always kind of forgot to step back and what is out there that is solving these problems, and that seems to be something that can guide us with like what do we want to measure and how do we want to apply it to the work groups.
Well, very interesting. Thanks for sharing. Looking forward to looking more into this and seeing all the synergies that may emerge with fractals and Karma and Common Approach. If there's anything else, Will, that you want to share, feel free. Or if you want to pass it on to somebody else whenever you're ready, then feel free as well.
I will pass it on to Mr. Tadas.
Thanks, Will, for enthusiastic passing on. Yeah, so last week I I took a bit of rest from working on fractal stuff. The week before that, I started working on sunsetting ORDAO office hours deployment. So ORDAO office hours is a very series of events where I introduced ORDAO software, which we use here today, for example, and yeah, we used ORDAO deployment for testing in those events, and yeah, now I'm sunsetting it so the backend services do not need to be run anymore while transferring all the data to IPFS so that it's available for historical record. Yeah, and it's something that I think future ORDAO deployments will need. So it's the first like prototype of that process. Yeah, and this week I took another step in that direction, which was created a proposal to renounce ownership of ORDAO office hours respect. So once this passes and is executed, then the respect distribution of ORDAO office hours made will become immutable, so to say, because there will be no owner for it. Yeah, so the only step remaining, this is the last step remaining to execute that proposal. And that will be all when it comes to sunsetting ORDAO office hours deployment. What's next? Yeah, I just had some discussions with Dan over in Notion about how to basically grow and tackle different opportunities with Fractal app software, and then gave some responses for Harvesto, which I think is working on research project on consensus processes used in fractals, and I'm glad to hear it. He also started interviewing other people like Will, so it seems like it's getting along. Yeah, and then made some typical administrative tasks for DAO deployments, like triggering execution of proposals. Yeah, and that's all for me. Like I said, I was resting for last week, so it's not that much. And yeah, I'm passing on to Dan.
All right. Sounds great. Thanks, Tadas, for all the excellent work. And I'll go ahead now and I'll share what I've done. Oops. I'll share what I've done over the past couple weeks to grow Fractal ecosystem and to contribute to Eden Fractal's mission. Okay, so I'm Dan Singjoy, and one of the main things I worked on this week was the design prototype for a gamified user interface for a Fractal app. So for the past 5 months or so, I've been doing a research mission that's been funded by the Optimism Collective for for research into democratic fund distribution using the respect game. So there's been a lot of deliverables so far. This is the second to last deliverable. It's almost done now, but the one that I did this week or was the gamified interface prototype. The legal and compliance will be coming later, actually. And so this is actually my longest one. I thought it was going to be my shortest one, but it wound up being like quite detailed, and I made some cool pictures and stuff. So I think it came out quite well. I did basically do an overview of what it is. I got some feedback from Tadas. I tried making an abstract for the first time. Thanks, Tadas, for the feedback. And then yeah, there's a section about the philosophy of gamification and why it's important to gamify governance, and then learning from successful games like sports and esports and digital games like Fortnite and World of Warcraft and Civilization, and then designs, some quick designs and ideas for respect game interface improvements, and then a broader kind of meta game around the respect game where people can earn respect and vote on respect and distribute funds and so forth, sort of like a massive online role-playing game, and then enhance interface elements and advanced features and visual design language. So you could scroll through it here. There's both there's all sorts of interesting stuff like relations to some stuff from Jordan Peterson and Kermit the Frog, and this great book about Wonderland and why play is so important, and then like pictures about different games we can learn from. And I generated some pictures for like how the respect game can evolve from like a Zoom call to being like kind of like an arena sport almost. And you can have like really beautiful kinds of animations and app and like player progression, all these different things. So I'm just scrolling through it real quick right now, but you can check it out on the Optimism Governance Forum for more details. So that was probably the biggest thing that I did this week. And then yeah, there's much more details there. But I'll continue. I also hosted the Optimism Fractal event, so I think that's a big contribution too. We had the 64th Optimism Fractal event. Rosemary made this beautiful picture here, and we had a nice event. I think we had like 7, 8 people. I don't remember how many there, but a lot of people contributing to fractal governance there.
All sorts of other stuff.
And then I also published. This was actually recorded like 2 years ago, but it was an old town hall video that was never published with Eric talking about the old open mic night that he did and like 2 years ago. Not really old, but like kind of old, I guess, at this point. So we published that just because it had been sitting around unpublished. And then I also talked with Rosemary for a while about the future of agendas and Eden Town Hall, and kind of worked out what we do there. And then also provided feedback. Each week I provided some feedback, or most weeks I provided feedback on the images and text and descriptions and promotion stuff like that. So I worked on that a bit with Rosemary. And then I made a little tweet here from the Dogman account because Dancing is still blocked on X. I updated the Genesis Fractal article, which is the first fractal, just make it easier to read, after Harvesto reached out to me and he was curious about the first fractals. So there's an article there at edencreators.com/Genesis Fractal with more details. And then I also responded a little bit to Harvesto. He asked me some questions. And I researched Tevo's work a little bit. I listened to some of your work with Cardano community just to get a better understanding, as well as I listened to a little bit of the podcast that Will joined Zal. So I want to listen to these more, but at least check them out a bit to better understand them. And then I was working on some responses to Sebastian. Oh, and I also updated the Fractal DJ article too. I forgot to include that too, but I didn't really update it. I just improved the link basically. It's like a kind of musical game. And then I wrapped up the Superchain ORDAO project, or mostly wrapped up with it, kind of just like gave some closing words to different people on the team and so forth, and working on next steps, and also work with Tadas on some documents surrounding this Fractal ecosystem development plan that I shared with him to grow the Fractal ecosystem. So that's it for me. And if anybody has any questions, then feel free. And I don't know, Tadas, did you already create the Fractogram group, or do you want me to create it?
I can create it right now.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
So, quick question: is there a reason why we're not using the Fractal app right now, the web app
The one that
for the
Abraham
respect
built?
game? Hmm?
One that Abraham built, you mean? Or
Yeah.
um yeah, so mm, It was having a variety of issues like that, like basically bugs. I know Abraham's been working on
Oh,
it
okay.
quite a bit, and he's been improving a lot of the features along with Eric. But mm, I, maybe like 3 weeks ago or a month and a half ago, I had met with Rosemary and Tadas at an ORDAO Fractal actually, and we were talking about how the app that Abraham had built, it was just like basically there'd usually be some sort of issue that we were having, and it made it more difficult like to host and facilitate events without like having a lot of technical issues. So we decided to stick with the Telegram Fractogram app that Tadas built for the time being.
Hmm.
It was more stable.
So
Yeah,
just bug fixes. Okay, that's fair.
Mhm.
yeah, and mainly he tried to add the feature to support multiple fractals because before we were using it only for Optimism Fractal. And yeah, we tested that feature switching between fractals within his app, and it does not quite always work. And that's the main bug, I would say, that is for which and the main reason why we decided to use this old Fractalgram app temporarily, at least.
No worries.
Yep.
Thank you for satisfying my curiosity.
You're welcome. I see Tadas shared the link to the Telegram group, so everybody can join there now. And then Tadas will give a prompt for sharing your Ethereum account there.
And this respect is being deployed on base, correct?
That's right.
All right.
I suppose technically it's being distributed on base. I don't know if we would say that it's deployed on base. I guess the software is deployed on base, but
By the way, Will, on the Karma HQ stuff, where I would find the like impact measurement sessions or blog posts? Is it like paragraph.com Karma HQ?
So on Karma HQ, when you connect with your wallet, you can search for various projects. So if you're already familiar with the project, you can kind of look at their project. A really good one, to look at would be the Refi DAO. So that's Refi spaced out. And let me see if I can get you a direct link to their Karma page.
It's under the Karma Cap or Karma Cow?
On the link that I put in the Karma HQ.
Yeah, there are two options.
But then when you look at the actual projects, it's a gap dot extension of Karma HQ dot XYZ, because that's the grantee accountability protocol that they built into it. That keeps grantees accountable for the funding that they receive.
did you find it, Tevo?
I found documentation, which is great, but not the today's sessions, what was impact about and how is that applied. But I also understand there is a specific project that is like using the common framework tactics.
There you go.
I suppose for anybody who's watching, maybe I'll just pull up
Yes.
the link to the Karma Cap
Yes.
website that
Climate round.
and then we'll just share another link here to the specific Refi DAO Global / funding project that he was talking about.
Yeah, so you can look at the project, the updates, the funding sources they've received, the impact, and the team.
Okay, very cool.
Oh, this is gonna be interesting. You know, in Cardano, they're right now building a smart contract, basically, or dashboards on top of smart contracts that are not yet paid out because people are slow to do a budget request and get it approved. So this is, I think this is gonna be very similar. Or, I don't know, not similar, but this is what we need.
right. Very interesting. Well, love to see the exchange of better decision-making tools and tools.
Okay, but how is that common framework applied? So Karma DAO themselves are looking at the common framework and trying to apply that to the dashboard to show where to basically.
Yeah, you're on track. Refi DAO Global is doing all the research for and creating a common framework for impact reporting within the ecosystem of public goods, right? So the category of public goods, and they're doing that through their networks connectivity that they have within not just Refi DAO, but the green pill chapters, which are basically and everything to understand the organizational structure. So Refi DAO is a global organization that supports local community nodes, is what they refer to them as, right? Within their network. Green pill network also functions the same way, is that they have, they have a main hub, but then they support local communities. So in these local community chapters or nodes, it's basically boots on the ground people making an impact within their communities. And a lot of them are in developing economies or global south regions, right? So what Refi DAO Global is doing is through these networks that they have access to, and a new network that's been recently created called Regen Coordination, which is all about regenerative, organizations having a landing spot outside of the Refi DAO and the Green Pill chapters. They're putting forth the common approach for impact measurement. So it may not be fully developed as of yet, but that is the way that the communities are trending.
Thanks for the overview, Will, and the questions, Tevo. I'll also suggest too that unless it'd be useful to help us form consensus, that maybe we return to the topic about Karma HQ.
Yeah.
Right now after we form consensus in the respect game. Does that sound good?
Absolutely. I've already put in my wallet, so I'm just waiting. I think Tevo.
Okay.
We're just waiting on him to submit his wallet.
Is that not? I think I shared it last time. I need to.
Tadas shared the link just 5 minutes ago. It's right up.
Yeah.
One of the most recent messages in chat.
He already joined.
Okay.
Just need to. Yeah, currently we need to. In this old Telegram, we currently in old Fractalgram we need to share account addresses in every session.
Yeah, that's right. And also, one little quirk of this, Tevo, is that you have to respond to the prompt as a Telegram reply. So you'll see each of us, we right-clicked it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and now if we're all ready, we can rank level 6. So this is basically who you think contributed most to Fractal ecosystem based on the contributions that you just heard. And then afterwards, we'll rank second most and so forth. Okay, looks like we have consensus on me. Think so. Appreciate it. And then we'll move on to level 5.
Oh, is that the consensus? It's 1 to 4.
Well, I voted for Will because I think that impact measurement is actually very relevant for fractals because it's also fractals are about retroactive recognition of contributions. So yeah, I would urge people to vote for Will.
Oh, you're so kind, but it looks like you have consensus. So.
Okay, well, technically we can still switch. I would say that's one thing. That this is just a tool to reach consensus. So, but if nobody wants to switch, I guess we can move on.
Well, yeah, I voted for you, Tadas, for all the maintenance work directly for fractals because ORDAO is providing this backbone for fractals right now, and even though you took some time off that work on updating the ORDAO fractal and stuff like that, and I see that as very valuable and important. But also, if you'd like, I'd be happy to switch my vote to Will as well because I do think that Will's
I will advocate against myself
keen
based on your
advocacy.
advocation for Tadas. I will advocate against myself based on your advocacy for Tadas, because that is very important work that he does to keep the wheels turning.
Yeah, to me, it's also like one is practical and another is theoretical. So I can imagine, because I'm new here, I don't know, Will, maybe he's had been since day one, but there can be anybody join in and share, hey, this is a good place to start. These are the networks that use it. Look up if you want or not, but it's not moving the needle together forward unless it's consistent. I don't know the consistency, but what I see is Tadas is working on thing I'm actually using right now. So it's
Yep. Well, good point, Tadas. People voted for you anyway, so you got level
Yeah,
5.
I give up.
Take the respect, Tadas. Take our respect. Okay, and we have consensus on Will. That being said, I think that
Oh, thank you so much.
you're very welcome, Will. And well, you kind of cut me off before as I was advocating for you, but I do greatly appreciate you networking and forming all these connections with these different communities, and also advocating for fractal governance and doing the interview with Harvesto and stuff, as well as always supporting us here at Eden Fractal and Optimism Fractal. So just want to say a big thanks for that, and also Tevo too. Really appreciate your contributions to and your interest too. So I'm glad to see everybody getting respect today.
Well,
And
you're most welcome, Dan.
great to hear. And we can now submit the results with the Eden Fractal app. So you can click where it says here at the bottom of the Telegram group and then submit your transaction. And cool to see.
There we go. I'm getting logged in. It wasn't letting me log in. It wasn't doing the wallet pop up, but now we're good to go. So
Okay. Yeah, I had an issue with the app last week actually. After Optimism Fractal, I tried making I made a proposal to issue respect to a community member, and then I had some issues, but then I found out some of those issues were on my side too. Also,
push it on chain.
do we need to open the app?
in order to push it on chain, yes.
Yes, so just by clicking the link in the last consensus message, where you see all the rank.
Success. I got success.
Great.
Yay!
And now I can see the respect breakout proposal.
Do I need to submit it?
So technically the proposal will be approved if it meets the minimum voting threshold that is set for ORDAO, which I believe for Eden Fractal, I don't remember what it is. I think it's 1,000 votes, and Tadas and I both have 1,000 votes. So technically, if me or Tadas submits it and people don't veto it with a lot of respect, then it will be approved either way and we'll receive our respect. But we encourage you to submit it to push on chain and to get the hang for it and get the feel for it, and to help I suppose bolster the consensus that's on chain.
Oh, so do you actually want us to vote on the proposals now?
You actually already voted. Your submission
Right.
was submitted.
Right. My submission voted, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you try Yeah, so ideally it wouldn't show vote yes button, but if you try clicking on vote yes, you won't be able to vote again.
Okay, that's fair. So I've already voted, so we're good to go.
Yeah.
When I try to submit it, it doesn't really allow me to do anything. It popped up a new transaction request, and then it's an interacting alert. You don't have enough ADA or AF in your account.
Mm. Yeah,
You
so
want,
you need in
what is that then?
that's gas. So you need to gas to pay for transaction fees.
So the base is not like I have it probably somewhere, but I have to have it in the base wallet.
Yeah, on base.
Yeah, put in your wallet address in the chat and I'll send you some.
Yeah,
I know I do have it, but I don't know.
But I've got ETH on base, so it'll be very easy for me to just send you some ETH on base. You
yeah,
put your
because
his
from
wallet
other
address is already in the Telegram, right?
You can find it there.
Okay.
from other networks you won't have to bridge it.
Can I
yeah,
not just send my? Oh no, I need to change network.
Yeah, because if you're doing like chain to chain, you have to use some swap protocols like Layer swap. So
or if you have it on an exchange like Coinbase and like that, then you can transfer it. But
yeah,
I think Will said that he's going to send you some. So it only costs like less than, I think, 1/10 of a cent or something like that to do the transaction. So it doesn't cost much. So we're happy to send it to you. So that makes it easy for you.
yeah.
So this is the next step you need on the website, a button to swap and to kind of load up and kind of earn their transaction. Because if you say it's 10th of a cent, it's not that much in my opinion.
Yeah, there's also gas sponsorship tools too, and that's what we'd like to do at some point soon, where you don't even have to like make a trade, but it just automatically sponsors, and we can have an account or something that automatically pays for everybody's account or for everybody's transactions.
yes,
Did you want to share more there, Tadas?
I could. I could just say it's not that hard to do using Privy, which we are already using for wallet management. But yeah, there are currently a lot of other stuff to work on for me, so I'm not sure what priorities, but yeah.
Yep. If everybody's ready, we can head back to the community room. Maybe the other room's done too, maybe soon, but we can at least head back so that we'll see them whenever they get back, and then we can continue our conversation there. How's that sound?
Yeah.
Okay.
Karen, an error with MetaMask. I don't know what's going on there. And I'm sending less than my maximum amount to make sure I get enough gas.
Fine.
Thanks, Will, for working on that. Wild World of
Yeah, no worries.
a bit difficult sometimes.
I'll try a different wallet. Yeah, I'll try a different wallet.
Okay, cool.
Application.
All right, well, we can all hit the leave room button here now. So that's what we'll do to go back to the community room. All right, and if anybody had any other comments you wanted to share, then feel free. We'll just kind of have an open discussion here for the next few minutes until the other group comes, and then at some point we'll start with the town hall in the next 5 minutes or so. If anybody has to go at all, then feel free as well. Thanks for being here, and hope you all enjoyed the respect game. Also, Tevo, I saw that you shared a message before that I didn't respond to, but about some of your videos. But yeah, I enjoyed watching them. And I did watch a more recent one. It was like a Cardano town hall. I'm not sure if I pulled it up on my screen, but I think it was from like 2 months ago or something. I don't know if it was called the Cardano town hall or something, but you were there, and then you had some guests on who were doing grants and stuff like that. So I didn't understand a lot of it, but I listened to it for like I don't know, half hour, 40 minutes, and it was quite interesting.
Was it Intersect Town Hall?
What's that?
Intersect Town Hall, but they last ended 5 months ago.
That might have been it, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah,
That was the worst project ever.
that was
Well,
it.
it was actually felt like work because this was first time we were funded in a project where the people who funded us didn't want to market us, or like they kind of fought against the proposal. And then we had people in the team and in their team that didn't like each other, and then like fall off, and it's like it was like a project of empty shell, but like there wasn't no community culture behind that. And so it was like, yes, we are coming together, we are doing stuff, people are getting paid, but it wasn't real. To say like you get if you compare like community town halls and this kind of town hall, you see like one is more like overproduced, and like you probably don't see it from the outset, but there was a lot of that tension to get it.
Yeah, I just went into my view history, and it was the Intersect Town Hall from January 2025. That's the one that I was watching. So, well, interesting to hear, and hopefully you learned some things from the experience and had some.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Glad to hear. Well, yeah, it's a pleasure diving into your content, and looking forward to watching more. If you have any particular contents that you recommend or pieces of content for checking out to learn more about your work, then I'd be happy to check it out. If you want to share any specific links, I was kind of just clicking around. Also, welcome Sebastian too. Thanks for joining. Hope you're doing well, and thanks so much, Sebastian, as well, for all the thoughtful messages you've been sharing in the live chat and Telegram. Really appreciate it. I've been working.
And Tevo, you should have that ETH in your wallet now to go ahead and push it on chain.
Right.
Thanks, Will, for sending.
Sorry, Dan, didn't mean to interrupt you.
No
Your
problem.
transaction was submitted. I guess it just worked very fast.
Oh, you were just able to submit your transaction, Tevo, once you got the ETH and then submitted it?
Looks like it, because now I see vote yes, vote no options.
Nice. Great.
Yes, I see your vote.
Okay. Very, very cool. I haven't voted yet because I'm having issues in my wallet, but it looks like everybody else has voted. If it'd be helpful, I can pull up the screen. I'm a little bit hesitant about whether I should go and share screen share the app, because it shows people's public keys. I don't think that's like any sort of like breach of privacy or anything like that. So I think it's fine to share the app, but I've done it before in the past. I just wondered if there's any reason not to. But I guess it's all public information that people are like voluntarily linking to their.
Yeah, as long as you're not exposing private keys or seed phrases, you're fine.
Okay. I'll go ahead, Tadas.
Yeah, this information is available, like who earned respect is available anyway on the blockchain publicly. So, I mean, in terms of public keys. So,
Yep. All right, I'll show it then. Good points. Yeah, at some point it should be good. Like I know that the Genesis Fractal, for example, had an agreement that said like you consent to knowing that your stuff is on chain, and then it can't be taken from there. So I don't think it's like a big deal of priority, but it is nice, I guess, because maybe there could be some confusion. But yeah, I think generally speaking, there's no risk, and people can now see the app, the beautiful Eden Fractal app that Tadas has built over the past months. Great to see you, Sebastian. So you're doing well. Feel free to unmute and share any thoughts.
Hi, yeah, I'm just joining for the town hall training. Yeah.
I'm sorry, your audio is like quite loud and it wasn't that good. Can you repeat it?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
All right. I'm just joining for the town hall today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Well, thanks for joining the town hall.
Sure.
And yeah, like I was saying before, when Will started speaking, appreciate all your comments that you shared in the Telegram chat. It would be useful to also pull those up too, because there's some great topics for discussion. Maybe that'd be some good topics for discussion for today's town hall. Actually, curious what you think about that.
Sure.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay, cool. Maybe I'll pull them up, and maybe we can even start pulling them up and get into them a bit now. I also have another topic for the town hall that I was thinking about. That would be cool to get to, but we can have a pretty open discussion there. Of course, if anybody had any other thoughts about the respect game, then feel free. Or any other thoughts? We're kind of open floor. I heard from Rosemary who said that they're going to be joining us soon, but I guess they're just taking a little while to reach consensus. I just pulled up one of Sebastian's messages here about the great potential of Eden Fractal Book 2, but also the classic risks history that it faces. And then Tadas wrote that sound from Sebastian is too loud for him and there's background noise. Yeah, there is. So I had to lower my volume, Sebastian, in order to make it so you weren't too loud. And then there is like a little bit of a background noise. So if you're able to, I don't know, maybe plug in a different microphone or something like that.
Sure.
Cool, thank you. In the meantime, people can read your thoughtful messages on the chats or on the screen. I can also pull up a couple others too, and we can take them. We can get into them. And if anybody has any comments, then feel free. We're kind of just chilling until the other room comes back. So, does anybody have anything you'd like to share? Or I don't know, Sebastian, if you want to comment on these in more detail or anything. I started, for context, but before we started, I was saying how I need to take some time off over the past week. So I've been really appreciating your messages, but haven't had the chance to respond. But I started drafting a response to each of them, and would love to hear other people's thoughts as well. But this is the most recent one that Sebastian shared just 2 days ago, I think. No, 5 days ago. Time flies, I guess. And then this is the first one that Sebastian had shared back June 19th when Epoch 2 was just starting. And then a couple of days later. So it's really cool to see all these thoughtful messages here, and also appreciate you reading the Eden Fractal 2025 strategy, nurturing transformative growth that I wrote last year too. So yeah, if there's any particular aspect you want to focus on, Sebastian, or if anybody else has any comments, then feel free. We'll probably at some point. I could maybe I'll just start the town hall, and I'll just kind of kick us off now for the town hall, and then whenever the other group comes back, then we'll already be in the town hall. If anybody has any comments you want to share now, then feel free. But otherwise, maybe I'll give a quick presentation while I have the screen share, and then I'll introduce people to town hall, and then we can get into these topics that Sebastian had brought up, as well as the topic that I had in mind for Kajenda's rules, and also have an open discussion about whatever the community is most interested in discussing. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Okay, cool. All right, so I'm going to move these over to down here, and I suppose I'll just go ahead and do it. So thank you everybody for playing the respect game. If anyone wants to join, then you can say go Eden Fractal. 3, 2, 1, go Eden.
Go Eden Fractal.
Go. All right, thanks all, and we'll be there next time. And now we're going to town hall.